Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Phantasy Star on the Wii Virtual Console. Last episode we ended outside of Abion, the village that has the polymaterial that we need to melt the metal that is around Hapsby the robot. And we need to fly the spaceship, the Lavino, that the doctor made for us. The interesting thing is the polymaterial is sold at the food shop, so I don't know what that says, but yeah, we'll buy some here, and now we can go back and get Hapsby the robot. But first, let's talk with all the villagers to see what's going on here. She just welcomed us to the town. We gotta do about 15 minutes of grinding to get the necessary Mercedes. You can do a whole bunch of grinding if you want to get a laser shield. That's Noah's best shield. Odin and Alice can also use it, but they're going to get better shields at the end of the game, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend doing all this grinding, so I didn't. A stranger I came to this town. He seems to be performing animal experiments. He brought a large pot or something. So it's not really Lassic who came to this town, but it's another guy. We're going to have to fight him later on. But right now, he's a little tough, so we're not going to bother with him. We'll come back here later. That's why we didn't necessarily have to buy a grind to get this laser shield, because we'll be back in this town later. But if you want to go to that doctor's lab, you go into that little cave there to the left, and it takes you eventually to that center area there. But yeah, we'll be back here later, so for now we're just going to trek back. We're going to backtrack all the way back to Bortevo, which is that town that has a whole bunch of junk. So, yeah, we got quite a bit of a walk to go. But luckily we have a set point back in Gothic, so we can just use that transfer to get back there once we get Hapsby the robot. So, got a new enemy here, Manticore. So there's a few enemies around here that are new that you can run into, that I ran into when I was doing my grinding. There's a giant monster, and on the shore, on the beach areas to the north, there's these Nessie monsters, like the Loch Ness Monster. But since I didn't do the grinding on screen, we'll just run into them later. So there's another new enemy, a Scorpus. So pretty early game. It seems like an early game enemy, just with the experience and amount of Mercedes it gives. So let's just keep heading around. If you had 1600 Mercedes, we can do a little bit more of a grind to get the Silver Fang for Myau in the next town. But I'm not doing the grind because, like I said, we're going to have to come back to Abion, and when we come back to Abion, we'll have to swing by the next town, Lore. So, like I said, we'll be back here, so no need to necessarily do the grinding. We're still doing some good damage. That heat gun coming in handy here. Alice will end up getting a new weapon soon, as well, for free. The next big dungeon we're going to be going to has a lightsaber sword that she can pick up, and that'll definitely help her out offensively. A lot of these monsters drop the flashes, so they're good for just selling, since we have that magic magic lamp, the permanent flash. Just keep making our way back. The world's gonna, not necessarily all the world, but the game will open up quite a bit once you get back to Gothic and can use the Lavino ship. We'll actually be able to fly to Motavia and also to Dezoris. If you have a whole bunch of money, you can get some good equipment on Dezoris, but we're just gonna go basically in the way the game wants you to go. Not doing any excessive grinding, to get super equipment early. Otherwise, you could get like a whole bunch of those laser shields, one for Noah, Odin, and Alice, and also diamond armor for Odin and Alice. But if we just play the game normally, we'll end up being able to eventually get that stuff later. So heading back to the Bortevo cave here. It's a little less complicated because all I have to just go back. So all I have to do is just take a first left, then keep going straight until you can't go anymore, take a right, keep going until you can't go anymore, take a left, and then keep going until you can't go anymore and take a right. So left, right, right. And that'll take us out to Bortevo, where we can get Hapsby the robot. So there's a whole bunch of junk piles around here, but the one that we want to use this stuff on is this one, the place with the door, with the blue door. So yeah, the game makes it easy. But I'll show what happens if you try to use it somewhere else. If you try to use the stuff somewhere else, luckily the game doesn't, you know, make you use it and force you to go back and buy more. You just take it out and you smell it for some reason. It stinks. So you're not going to use it until you actually are at the right one, which is this one right here. So we're going to open the polymaterial, and it opens, the contents quietly leak out, and it reveals the robot, Hapsby. Thank you for finding me. I can fly the Lavino for you. Now how he knows that we have a spaceship called the Lavino, I don't know, because we just got that spaceship. The guy just made it, Dr. Lavino. So I have no idea how he knows, but I know that we have a transfer point set back in Gothic, so we can use our transfer item, and we're back here. You're talking with Dr. Lavino. You can pull the Lavino and be on our way. So now just go over to this one guy who was blocking this path over here, and he'll say, if Dr. Lavino sent you, I guess I have to let you through. And unfortunately, every time we're going to talk with that guy to either get in or out of the town, we're going to have to go through that little dialogue. But now we got our own spaceship, and we can go to Gothic, which is here, so that's nowhere. Uzo, which is on Motavia, and Skur, which is on Dezoria, the ice planet. But like I said, we're going to Motavia right now, and we'll go to Dezoris later on in the game. That's how you get Odin's best gun, the laser gun. I'm going to head to the desert planet, back to the desert planet. Now we're going to be able to land on this village down here that we couldn't reach before because it was the path to it was surrounded by those antlions. There's a town called Casper to the south of here, and that's going to be our next destination. Next major destination. There are dragons living in the Casper cave. These dragons have gems in their heads. We'll be hunting down a dragon to get one of those gems. Have you heard about mantles made of frad fibers? They are light but provide great protection. And that mantle will be the one that's Noah's best defensive gear. Have you heard about the soothing flute? It's a secret, but I buried one at the outskirts of the town of Gothic on Palma. Don't tell anyone. Well, we won't. But we will go back there and get it. And if we say we do know it, he'll say, ah, never mind. So yeah, we're gonna go back to Gothic and grab that flute. If you use a vehicle at the Land Rover, the antlion will not be able to harm you. Yeah, we can buy some vehicles later on. You don't need to buy the Land Rover. The other vehicles are needed to progress the game plot. This town is called Uzo. But I guess the thing could be nice to get if you just want to avoid the antlions. Like I said, it's not necessary that we'll ever need to, you know, go somewhere that we can't avoid the antlions. But it does make traveling around Motavia here much easier. We have that because the antlions become no problem. So I'll end up buying it eventually. Just like I said, 100% the game. But now just do a little shortcut. I'm going to step out of the village, then cut back in. That way I'm put closer to the shuttle. And we're going to travel back to Gothic on Palma. And we're going to pick up that soothing flute. And the soothing flute basically acts like an exit spell, which will transport you out of a dungeon. So it's good for, you know, if you're doing a dungeon dive and you end up running out of, you know, heals or resources, your character's MP runs out. So you can always just, you know, use that to get out, but shouldn't have to use it much, because if you're well leveled enough, you'll be able to take care of things for the most part. Yeah, unfortunately, like I said, we have to go talk to this guy all the time. But we come down here, and there's a suspicious-looking patch of dirt by this tree. We search there, and we got the flute. And we got the Hapsby, the robot. He's hard-headed. And he's made of Laconia, the hardest metal in this universe. That's why it couldn't be melted by the polymaterial, which allows us to safely throw it on that junk pile. So I'm just going to head back to do a quick thing, because it probably be quicker to just heal up the hospital every single person. But whatchamacallit, it costs quite a bit of Mercedes, because you have to heal everybody individually. It's not like inns in Dragon Warrior, where you pay one fee and everybody's healed, and the fee is based on how many characters you have in your party. It's based on how many hit points and magic points you're missing, and you have to do it for each individual person. So we're in the area, so we'll just end up going back to our friend Sulia's house. We'll get some extra Mercedes. Save Mercedes by not going to the hospital, and make some more by selling all those flashes we got. All those vampire monsters. It's gonna be also a good time, I guess, to pick up some more burgers and colas. But I don't think I'll need to grab any more of them. So I got one burger for everybody, and I should be able to make it through the next dungeon with that amount. But we don't need these flashes, so let's just get rid of them. It's not too much money, but every little bit counts. So yeah, that magic lantern, like I said, really only good for clearing up inventory space. It's not really money effective. Like I said, we'll never have to buy another flash anyway, because so many enemies drop them. But this thing, we can have a lot of clear inventory space. These guys still using that fake road pass. Eventually, there's going to be an enemy who's going to do, or security guard that's going to be smart enough to realize you have a fake pass, and that'll cause trouble later on in the game. But for now, seems everybody's cool with our secrets, the fake pass that we got way back in Cyan at the beginning of the game. But the passing is important now because, hey, we got our own spaceship. And Dr. Luna wants us to know how the ship is. Tells us to use it well. Once we board the ship and use it, his dialogue changed a little bit, but it's not all that important. It's not like you have to see him to open anything up. But now we know we're going back to Uzo, and we're going to head to that Casper town, to the south of Uzo, because we need to apparently hunt a dragon down there. So, that should be an interesting little trek. So, but it's a trek that we're going to make in our next episode. We're just going to do a quick save here, and then I'll meet you out here for the next episode where we head to the south, try to find that Casper cave, and go dragon hunting. So take care, have a good one. Thanks for following along. Have a good day. Bye.